Welcome to another live class with me. I'm Tanya. If we haven't met before, I live in Southern California. And today I want to talk about the topic of fluency. But before I do that, I would love to know a little bit about you, where you're from, what your native language is, so we can get to know each other a little better. So, if you have been here live with me before, you may have heard me talk a little bit about fluency, mentioning it a little bit here and there in other lives or maybe in my series of stories. But I think this is a very important topic. Thank you, Tiana, because so many people don't realize how much fluency they already have. So many times when I'm talking to students, they actually put themselves down. In other words, they say things about themselves like, I'm not fluent, I can't get fluent, it's too hard for me, it takes too long. And really, the only one of these that is close to the truth is that it does take a long time, but during that time, you will reach different mile markers. So I'll put that word in the chat, mile markers. These could be actual markers on a road that mark how many miles they are. But in this context, I mean things that help us to mark or know or notice when we have accomplished something or achieved something. And I'd like to start with one of the first ones, which is that if you are here listening to me and you can understand most of what I'm saying, you can get the main idea of what I'm saying, then you already have a level of fluency in your ability to listen and understand the English language. So I think, and actually, I'm going to go one step further and say, I know that it's very important for us to recognize these milestones because it helps us to see that, yes, in fact, all of our hard work has paid off. We can say it's paid off, meaning it's worth all of the hard work that we've put in. It has value. So let me see who's here live. And if you are watching the recording, I thank you very much. Either way, if you can let me know a little bit about you, that's always helpful. I see that we have people from here, from a couple different people from Brazil, Colombia. Where else are you listening from today? Diana Lou says, I get to understand what you're saying. So, Diana, you already have some fluency. So if someone asks you if you are fluent, you can say, I have achieved a certain amount of fluency, and maybe that's all you're working towards. But if you want more fluency, this is also great. It doesn't mean that you have none right now. Reminds me a little bit of if you are someone who is earning money, you go to work and you get money. If someone said to you, do you earn wages? Do you have money? You may not have a lot of money, but yes, you have money. You pay your bills or you pay for whatever you can. Maybe you'd like to have more money. It doesn't mean what you have is nothing. This is very similar to fluency. So for myself, I am a language learner and I know how hard it is to say, yes, I am fluent, because my second language is Spanish. And when somebody asks me if I'm fluent, I'm trying to I'm trying to decide what they mean by fluency. But I think that one of the most important things is to say what I think of my fluency and to give some thought to it first. So the next thing that I like to say after saying you have some fluency in understanding and being able to listen to and understand what someone says is the fluency you could have in any of the four areas of a language: reading, writing, speaking, and listening that we already spoke of. You have some level of fluency in all of these areas. If you're listening to me now and you can understand me, you have a pretty high level of listening fluency. If you can write something in the comments, either in the comments on the recording or in the chat live, then you have some fluency in being able to write. And I highly recommend practicing that while you're listening. Write some comments, write some questions, write answers to my questions. And thank you for all these wonderful hearts. Great question, Garachi Navarro says, what is paid off? When we say that something has paid off, all of our hard work has paid off. I'll put the whole phrase for you here. In this context, all my hard work to learn English has paid off means that it has given me value. It has been valuable. It has been valuable. Now, paid off as a phrasal verb has other meanings that can be similar, but we are going to talk about that now because here's a little tip for you, aside from what we're talking about. Trying to learn too many things about similar things is a good way to confuse your brain. So unless that's something that works really well for you and you know it works really well for you, don't worry about that. You will learn these things as you go. I see that Diana has a question and she says, when can I ask you? Please let me know. You can ask the question now, Diana. Go ahead. If anyone has questions, go ahead and put them in the chat and I will try to get to them as soon as I can. One little hint I'll give you is to put more than one question mark like this. These are question marks. If you put several question marks with your question, I will be more likely to see it. And I know that might seem rude in other situations. In English or American culture, at least, that might seem rude. But on the live, it's very helpful for me. Okay, I see someone from Korea. Welcome. This is my first time watching you. Welcome. I'm so glad you could join us live. This is my new time for going live this summer on Mondays at this time, which is 4 p.m. Los Angeles, California time. And on Wednesdays, no, pardon me, I said that all wrong. Today is Wednesday. Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Los Angeles, California time. And on Monday, I already went live at 9:30 a.m. and I'll do it again next Monday at 9:30 a.m. Los Angeles, California time. So I'm glad you can be here. Okay, so we have reading, writing, speaking, listening. Then we have other types of fluency we're working towards. So conversational is one type of fluency that a lot of people are looking for. Pardon me, this is the ability to hold a simple conversation, to have a simple conversation with someone in English, or for me, in my second language. And then after I could have that simple conversation, my next goal or my next step was to have more complex conversations about important topics, things that are important or interesting to me. This might be true for you as well. When you think of your fluency, what do you think as the most important part? Let me know in the comments or the chat so that we can talk a little bit about that. Once you're conversationally fluent, which my opinion is that if you're going to get a job or do anything in another country that speaks English, I think conversational fluency is one of the most important things. But it does depend on what you need. It's different for different people. So another person may need what we call academic fluency, the ability to function in an educational situation, a school, a university, a college, to write papers, to listen to lectures. And in this case, mostly you need to be able to listen to understand, read to understand, and write. You might also need to speak, but not as much conversationally. Then why did I say I think conversational fluency is important? Because when you can connect with the other students, with the teachers, with the other people in the educational environment, you have more chances to do what we call networking, which is meeting other people and getting resources, sharing ideas, sharing different things that you need for your education. My computer is asking me to close some things, so I'm going to close down some of the things that I have open here. Okay. Let me see. We've got a few things people are writing. Nice work. This is a very good way to work on your fluency. Hi, Carlos says it is your first time in one of your live. I have seen you leave comments on my videos. So thank you. Thank you. Every comment you leave when I post this video as a recording, every comment is very helpful. So thank you. And Diana says, thank you. My big problem is listening. I usually understand people talking in person, face to face. But when I'm listening to a recording conversation, I don't get. I don't understand why I get upset. It's okay, Diana. Let me tell you, one of the things that will help you with this is to listen to things like this, but don't look at it. Listen to it with the video off. Or for instance, if you're listening on your phone, put your phone down so you can't see the video. Listen to podcasts and practice listening without seeing the person. And listen to things that you understand when you don't see the person. So if it is too difficult for you, look for something less difficult and build up to it. This will go faster than trying to listen to things you don't understand. My friend from Korea says, speaking, because when you get a job or interview or even daily conversations are important. I would like to live in an English-speaking country. This is a fabulous goal, and you're right, all of these things are important. Did you know that a lot of people will live in an English-speaking country sometimes for 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years or more without speaking English? Yes, they live in the English-speaking country and they do not speak the language. This is for a couple of different reasons. One big reason is a lot of English-speaking countries have groups of people that speak a lot of other languages in the world. It's easy to find somebody who speaks your native language, maybe not at the doctor or the store or the school, maybe there too, but it's easy to find friends and people to be with that speak your native language. And this gives you that connection that I was saying is so important in an educational environment. And I will also say in a professional environment, which is another level or another type of fluency is professional fluency, where you use your English maybe only for your job and maybe in only certain ways. I have women in our She Speaks program who have used English only in writing, to write emails or to write things in their job, but they don't need to speak it. And while they do need to read it, they don't need to read a lot. And so when they come into the She Speaks program, they want to focus on the speaking and listening part, which is the main focus of She Speaks. Our She Speaks program covers all of the fluency areas of reading, writing, speaking, and listening, but each person is different. Each person has different needs, different backgrounds, and different goals. So these things are really, really important. Hello, Esteban. Esteban says, I think many of us need general conversation fluency. Yes, Esteban, I would venture to say, which I said in a recent video, that we all could really benefit from general conversational fluency. And Esteban, again, thank you so much. This is the second time I have seen you purchase a super thanks to support my channel. I really appreciate this. Not only does it help to make this financially possible, which of course is important, but it also means a lot to me. So thank you so much. Carolina Becker, thanks for this live chat. She says, I have trouble with pronunciation. And then she says, very bad. Please, Carolina, please don't say very bad. Instead, you could say, this is something I really need to work on, or this is something I really want to work on. It's important for me to work on my pronunciation. This changes it just a little from something that's bad to something that's possible and more positive. Let's see. International Relationship says, I know the people living now in America, but don't speak English. Yes, there are a lot of people living in the United States who don't speak English. My friend from Korea, I'm not sure I'm going to say your name correctly, but I'm going to try. Wadadi. I hate to say it because I'm sure I'm saying it incorrectly, but right, we are different in all good ways. Yes, our differences are part of what makes us beautiful. It's part of what makes us interesting. So let's see, did I hit all of the areas of fluency? I think I hit the main ones at least. The big message I want to give you today is to be more kind, but also more informed about fluency. Kind to yourself, but informed about what fluency is. And to stop trying to meet someone else's expectations. Now, this being said, if you need to do something for your job, for your school, whatever it is, this is understandably important. And you can do that because it's a necessity and still be kind to yourself. One of the things I think don't tell us whether or not we are fluent is a test. A test can give us information, but it doesn't really measure our fluency as much as it measures our ability to take a test. If it's important to you to be able to take a test, or if you need to take a test for your work, for your school, for whatever is important in your life, then yes, these are things that are important that we need to give energy to, we need to pay attention to, and do what is necessary in the best way that we can. And we still need to be respectful to ourselves, because when we are respectful to ourselves, we are able to be more respectful to other people. And, I think about this a lot. It would be great if more people were respectful and kind to other people. So I want to know if you have any last questions or thoughts. If you do, put them in the chat. I have just another minute or two. I see we have someone who is very proud to be from Algeria. Welcome, welcome. And let's see, Brazil, Algeria. You say, my Korean friend says it's just a nickname. Don't worry. Thank you. You're amazing. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. So many kind comments, and thank you for the hearts. Also, a lovely message from Belarus. Thank you. And Japan. Have you ever been to Brazil? I have not, but I have a few students. I've had several students from Brazil over the years, and I would love to visit Brazil. I'd also love to learn Portuguese. Right now, I just started learning German, so it will be a long time before I start learning another language. But yes, I would love to visit Brazil. Anna, good to see you. Thank you for your kind words. Anna says, very kind things to me. And thank you for helping her to improve her speaking. You're very, very welcome. And let's see, we have Taiwan. So nice to meet all of you today. Thank you so much for your comments. I did it right that time. And all of the hearts. If you are interested in joining me in my women's fluency program, I would love to have the opportunity to speak with you and help you with your English. You can get on the wait list by clicking on the waitlist link that will be on the recording. And while you're on the wait list, I'll be sure to send you some value so you can continue to learn while you're waiting and some information about the program. And in the meantime, to continue your fluency right now, I suggest you watch the video I will put here next, and I'll see you in class. Bye-bye.